tell us what were you talking about up in Darwin?
So the ACHSM, so they had that was great from there. So they had their 2025 Congress in Darwin. And so it's a health leadership, and so they had representatives from the World Health Organization, all of the Australasian islands, and including New Zealand.
Did you know Cook Islands is over the timeline? So if you come back to New Zealand or Samoa, they're on our side of the timeline. But Cook Islands, boom, the only one that is on the next line of the timeline. So they would have travelled an extra day to come to Darwin, but the rest of the Australasian islands, as you refer to, would have only travelled a couple of hours. Just sharing. Keep that in, Ricky. If you take that out, you're done for.
Who would have thought? Welcome back to the Capability Corner, the podcast where we explore what's happening in healthcare, workforce development, and all things capability building. Hopefully you know me by now, because this is, I'm sorry to say, final episode for 2025. I'm Zoe Yule, Head of Learning and Capability at Ausmed, and I'm joined IRL in real life.
BTW.
By the way,
IYKIKY.
with Michelle Wiki.
Be honest.
And we've got our sillies on. Michelle Wiki, Chief Customer Officer, and Dr. Karen Patterson, Chief Nursing Officer. Hello. Welcome to Melbourne. How are we all?
I'm here. Well, we're here, actually.
This is our first in situ experience.
Yeah. I'm not in the office today.
No.
I know.
There's you can't see my laundry behind me.
There's no washing.
People might come to the lift any minute. There's no small children crawling in. What's happening? Why can't I turn on the switch?
So our last episode for the year, I'm a little bit sad about this, but I'm excited for our end of year Capability Corner dinner that we're going to head to shortly. But
as long as there's wine flowing, I'm good.
I think we're going to get another gig. I think it's been so great that don't fear, even though this is last episode, we will be back next year. Has that been approved at board level?
They're way more than they were at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. I think actually it's coming up tomorrow in the risk discussion, and we'll just be weighing up whether the likelihood of reputational damage
risk we need to.
If you don't
likelihood and consequence of success or failure.
Yeah. And then we might get the stamp of approval.
High impact, high probability risk. No.
Well, I think everything's high likelihood with Wiki, and then it's like low to medium impact. Yeah. So it's still medium risk.
I would say moderate to high likelihood.
Have I underestimated the impact of my damage?
We're talking about risk because we've got our November senior leadership meeting in person tomorrow where we're focusing all about risk. So we've all been very good and done our pre-reading for the day. And
speak for yourself.
Oh.
TBH.
Don't talk yourself in. It's been a few weeks. Since we've all caught up, I feel like it's been a long time in between episodes. I hope you enjoyed our bonus episode that I did with Vanessa Cameron on inclusive learning. We've had a lot going on.
Was the bonus episode the one around disability? Oh, I just heard the best feedback about that today.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I got some feedback today and they just said, have you listened to that bonus episode? It was excellent. And I said, the truth is, no, I haven't listened to that episode. I said, if I wasn't on it, I haven't listened to it. But I will now go back and listen to that.
Oh, that's nice.
But the feedback was it was excellent. It was excellent. And the conversation around, and I haven't heard it, so excuse my relay, but the conversation around, definitions of handicap and disability and the explanations were just insightful and interesting and eye-opening, and they just got so much out of the episode. And I said, well, you've never said that about any of my episodes. And they said, well, take note. TBH.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, I feel like that our shout out needs to be to Vanessa Cameron, who was my guest on that episode. Vanessa's amazing. She's such an incredible person. She's a nurse educator, or NPD practitioner, as we call them in the US, where I connected with her. And she has a lived experience of a disability, and her story is just amazing. But I think, she went she went back into history to explore, you know, the definition of handicapped or hand-in-capped, and just challenged so much about how we might think about disability, how we might then have that language show up into our practice. And just a beautiful reminder that words matter and that we can learn so much from other people. So thanks, Michelle. Shout out to you, Vanessa. I know you're now a long-term listener and fan. Big news in aged care, 1st of November, a couple of weeks ago. New Aged Care Act and strengthened standards went live. How's everyone
Nothing
feeling?
broke.
How are beautiful customers, Michelle? Are they relieved? Are they excited?
They're good. How are the customers? I think it's when you turn 18, there's all this talk about what will happen, but actually on the day, not a lot changes. And it's as you progress into that new phase of life that you start to notice changes or capabilities or things changing.
Needs.
So really we're all still waiting for good, strong audit experiences to see how the Act and the standards are going to be applied, how we see the competencies rolled out, who gets, their wrists smacked and who gets more than that, so that we can all learn from other people's experiences hopefully first before we have to learn from our own. So I think it's a really waiting and watching game. And I think coming into that Christmas period really TBH, the Commission wind things down at Christmas. They are fairly reasonable about what's expected over the Christmas period. So I think, if you haven't an audit in the next 2 weeks, you're probably not going to worry about it till mid to late January, maybe mid-January. So waiting and watching, I think, is really a status. If you were to ask for a status check, waiting and watching. Wait and watch.
When would we expect?
Remain alert but not alarmed.
Yeah. When could we expect first kind of formal audits? 6 months, 8 months? What are we talking?
No, I mean they'll have
you couldn't have spot audits. Well, you every audit starts with an RFI, request for information, even if it's spot.
Yeah, yes, but I mean the turnaround time for that can be fast, and if it's based on a serious complaint, it can be quite quick as well. So I think, frankly, the culture is still this could happen any time. And the turnaround time for it to happen could be fast. I actually was speaking to some providers yesterday who are just having a fire audit next Friday, and were making sure all their records were, T's crossed and I's dotted. And it was in the same sentence, we're having a fire audit next Friday, but, the Commission could come any day. That just still is the vernacular. It's still the expectation, and providers still want to be ready and prepared. So irrelevant of this request, there are still places that get called and asked, just wondering whether you have parking available today. And all right, today, right? Okay. And then the Commission turn up. So it depends on what it's for. It can still happen with short notice. I think we will see some audits happen. I'd be surprised if we hadn't heard anything by February with results on the website. So that's what I'm going to be watching, listening out for customers that need support, and then watching to see how these reports, assessment visits get listed on the Commission's website, and see how they're not METs. What are they called now?
Oh, non-conformances. Partially conform. Yeah.
It's interesting as a culture that we can quickly move on from, like, as you said, you turn 18, you move on. The rules have changed, but you learn how to play the rules from there. So I think that's really, it's such an it is a real pivotal point that in making the changes and going through legislation and going through all of this, disruption. I'd love to see that things are disrupted from there. I'm still on the fence as to whether things will just continue to be the same but a little bit different.
Agree.
Rather than being a lot different. My mother is in a residential facility, and we received the paperwork from the Commonwealth with, the funding changes and just the confusion that it causes. And, if you choose to make some changes from now, you have to do it within a certain period of time, or a whole spectrum of impact across, families as well as, the caring communities and parts from there. So I think it would be a shame that it becomes more than the audit, and what are going to be our measures for success as a society rather than waiting for things to go wrong and for them to be investigated.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to hear the success stories. I want to hear the positives. I want to hear, that's maybe me looking on the bright side, but I think, I'm curious as well to hear how audits go, Michelle, and I think that they will be very interesting. I'm especially interested to hear how boards go during audits. I'm getting a lot from customers. I need this for, more executive board level type training. But I think and hope that we need to continue to celebrate the successes and, respect the fact that this has been a huge 5 years that came off the back of a, pretty poor place where we were at. Let's continue to celebrate people. Let's continue to share the little things that are working, as well as obviously all wait on the edge of our seat to hear, how conformance with the new standards
also
goes.
A great opportunity for aged care to lead change across the whole health spectrum from there. And I think putting the changes around moving towards capability from completions to capability and competence and being able to take, that the right space, respect-based, person-centered and building it in. I think that's a really exciting with aged care, maybe historically following the coattails of acute care. There's been a leapfrog that's happened in regard to different ways of thinking around what is quality and what is safety and what is engagement. And I think that's really exciting because I feel that's now going to change the benchmark and potentially influence acute care and how we think about learning, how we think about learning pathways, training, and capability.
DHYB. That means don't hold your breath, Kels. You heard it first.
We're going to come back to learning pathways.
Okay.
Remind me if I forget. I want to touch on that. But round the grounds, Karen, you've been racking up your frequent flyer points over the last few weeks. Australasian College of Health Service Management Conference. Did I get that acronym right? I absolutely loved your presentation, Karen, and our producer Nick's involvement in your slides. Karen, your Google slide presentation skills were absolutely amazing.
Couldn't have done it without Nick.
Tell us what were you talking about up in Darwin?
So we did have a paper accepted at the Congress that was, I can't even remember what we called it, but it was around generative learning and it was a great opportunity. It was in the rural remote stream. And so it was about looking at how Ausmed was working with people who are working in remote locations, such as home care workers and people in the aged care practices, and looking around the use of generative AI in learning. And it just generated such interesting conversations. People really hadn't started to think about, they were so caught up in what is generative AI, thinking about generative learning, thinking about, there was a really positive response in regard to how do we facilitate reflective practice and how do we take our content and enable it to be a conversation. So having that sort of interaction, using generative AI, building a dialogue, so going from a monologue or something that you just transact through learning to actually being something that you engage with and get feedback. And I think that feedback cycle was the thing that people hadn't, even thought about, and the possibilities of it. There was people from the National Trauma Centre there. They immediately started to think about how they could use that within their workforce in regard to providing the opportunity for their workforce to debrief and reflect and access learning. So just thinking that the quality of your learning shouldn't be impacted by your postcode.
Yeah.
And if we think around how we've advanced in digital learning, that it really is now about equity of access to learning rather than just considering it about access to technology from there. So I think it was great.
So critical. There's so many opportunities. We've got a toolbox article that we've put together on the paper, and in its title, Equity and Ethics, Improving Access, Establishing Trust and Building Capability for Better Care. And at the heart of that was using generative AI to facilitate a reflective process. So I think what I really liked about that article that we drew on from your session, Karen, was the case scenario where imagine you're a home care worker, you've finished a visit, you've done all the things that you needed to do, but there was just something a bit different today. And, you like to process your thoughts, you like to take a lot of pride in your work, and, you're out in the bush, you're in your car, and there's not many people that you can speak to. You haven't got the time. It's on to the next job. And, you're thinking about maybe there was just one subtle thing that you saw, or was it something you just got this sense, this feeling that maybe something was not quite right. And what if in that moment you had the opportunity to just whip out your phone, or it's already connected to CarPlay, and you did a guided reflection that really helped, think about what did I see that made me feel uneasy, or what was it that, I might have picked up on. And that opportunity means that anyone, anywhere could do that through a generative learning. So I'm really excited. We're going to talk about, what's ahead for next year, but really digging into these generative learning experiences, and we're building that capability with single and multi-turn responses, voiced and text-based reflections, and with the amount of literature available around simulations and reflection. I'm really excited to build on what you mentioned up in Darwin, Karen, and continue to have that surface within Ausmed's product.
So I think it starts to bring that narrative away from training to learning, as you're saying, that every interaction that you have with, in your health, engagements from there is potentially a learning or a missed learning opportunity. And if we're able to, facilitate or prompt the opportunity for someone to actually think about what happened and why, and why, what was the outcome from that. And if I wanted to, that was great and I want to make sure I do it again, what do I need to think about? Or is that something that, I could improve on from there? So being able to just think that it is a constant, I need a recycle of learning, and every interaction is a learning opportunity, and it doesn't have to take more time.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to take away from, you don't have to go and travel somewhere. You can actually engage in learning in the moment, and also have outcomes, as we said, through using the Ausmed and through using the app, etc. You can also easily link up to related learning opportunities and modules. So it can, spark an interest in you, and then you can find the next piece of, latest evidence and evidence-based practice.
Absolutely. All right. So you didn't stop there. After Darwin, where'd you head off to?
Came home. And then then headed off to Christchurch in the South Island of New Zealand, which was majestic.
Ooh,
I've never been there before. Probably
and you
not
had to go with Will. That's a shame.
Not for the people, because the people, they had a snowstorm and there was quite a lot of devastation, but it was beautiful.
It's nice.
And cold, just like Melbourne is
give
at
us
the moment.
break.
But that's all right. That's a whole nother story. But that was the Council of Deans, so the Nursing Midwifery Council of Deans. We met Karen Strickland from Edith Cowan University.
Not another Karen.
Another Karen. Karens are everywhere.
Listeners, if you haven't met a Karen in healthcare, come out wherever you are.
It's coming your way.
Exactly.
So she was the sitting chair. We met at the Australian College of Nursing, came and had a chat there about Ausmed and what we're offering, and Ausmed's strategy to provide all of students enrolled in nursing and midwifery programs within the universities complimentary access to the library, the clinical library, which is fantastic.
I love that.
And she was very excited about that and said, come along to the Council of Deans. And so we had some fantastic So conversations there with Alison, Commonwealth Chief Nurse, being able to speak across all of the deans, all of, the nursing leaders and parts from there. We've got working with UTS, University of Technology Sydney. They are in the process at the moment of integrating access to Ausmed's clinical library into their student access, however students get to things from there, so that they can be built into their curriculum.
Fantastic. So imagine being a student and having Ausmed. I mean,
brilliant.
Yeah. What I love is that you can click on a module and you click the button that says cite and it generates a reference.
That's so good.
Remember how hard and annoying it was?
You used to spend like half the time
referencing in the right spot. And
after writing the essay.
I know.
So irritating.
Yeah. Now I've got people in my team that can reference for me. But yeah, love that and so much more. Building capability across the workforce from students to the board, I would say.
And it's building lifelong learning pathways. And, I had the opportunity to look into the sort of nursing career pipeline from there and saw that within healthcare we spend a lot of time in the delivery of healthcare looking at that graduate year and fixing our graduates to be able to work within the healthcare environment. But if we actually look downstream and see how we can actually invest and work differently with our graduates and build that relationship and that professional collegiality that is about, we're actually, as professionals, we use Ausmed and we use these sources. If you actually have the same source of truth as an undergraduate, it actually builds a connection from there.
Absolutely.
And,
and
the vision is
in the workforce.
Yeah, that it will be something that will facilitate a smoother pathway in regard to people having, obviously they've been registered, they've passed their academic degree, et cetera, and into the workforce, if they're also able to say that, talk a similar language, have similar resources, that could create a big difference.
Fantastic. Thanks, Karen. Whirlwind trip. What about you, Michelle Wiki?
I've got nothing to compare.
What news have you got to report?
No,
what have you been up to?
No, Kaz has been smashing it. I've had a quiet time actually. I think just
training plan reviews.
Yeah, training plans. We're up the wazoo with training plans because 2026 is coming, and what will we do and what we'll include, and what's the advice here, and competencies. What are we doing, and are we halfway through, and how's that all looking? A lot of people are doing kind of building their own content they're trying to be as customized or person-centered or business-centered. So they're building some of that stuff to put in, which is exciting. But just sitting around the couch mostly. Doing the laundry.
Sitting in the laundry, doing the laundry.
Yeah.
Well, I must admit, I've been busy.
What have you been doing, Zoe? What's been happening for you, Zoe?
Thanks for asking.
Sorry.
Jeez. What have I been doing? I have also been planning, not training plan reviews, resourcing reviews. My team is just getting bigger and better all the time. So I've been busy, thinking about what capabilities we need. Have we got them? Who do we need to hire for? What do we need to hire, and how many, essentially? But it's exciting. It's really exciting. It's not even 6 months since I came into the role and implemented a new content strategy. I think the strategy is working really, really well. We've got really great KPI system. I know that sounds like utter management talk, but it's, it's not to keep tabs on anyone. It's really to help us prioritize KPI 1, 2, and 3. And that's working great. So just thinking ahead to next year, what does our team structure look like, and how are we going to deliver on all of the things that our business needs us to deliver on, that our sales team keep sending my way, that our customers keep sending our way.
That's right.
Really good problems to have. But, looking at how we continue to build and support a disability care library in addition to an acute care library. And really, I've been finishing off some key projects. So I've done a global needs assessment on all sectors that we support, and I've gone from literally every line in every standards, code of conduct, work health and safety legislation. And there's some big spreadsheets that are essentially helping map what those requirements are in the standards, legislation, regulation, and where's our gap? What does Ausmed have in terms of those resources? And that's helping, put some really exciting roadmaps together for next year where we can continue to build out those libraries. So that's keeping me busy, but it's
important
fun.
to keep you out of the way, though.
Lots on, but going well.
Yeah.
All right, we have a very exciting event coming up next week, which apparently the hostess with the mostess who hosted the Gold Coast event, Building Workforce Capability with AI, is otherwise occupied. So I'm going to be hosting.
Are you?
I
didn't hear who my replacement
for our
was.
Melbourne lunch next week.
Interesting. Well, Zoe, look out.
Power heels. So I need to go buy a new pair of shoes.
Okay, wow, go Zoe. Yeah. Only suggestions are try to just keep the fear of, short-circuiting your boss and getting fired for it out of your mind while you're facilitating the panel.
I'll do my best.
Yeah.
That sounds joyful.
It's hard.
I've just heard that Karen's going to be there as well, which,
I am.
I'm
Oh,
really...
my goodness.
I'm not on the panel. But
Ah.
I will be perhaps doing some Dorothy Dix from the floor.
Whoa. Are we allowed to use those words? I've not been cleared with me.
I'm looking forward to any input that you might have or would like to share, Karen. You're welcome.
There's no space for that. If you've got panellists, you're going to be busy.
Well, do we have panellists? I'll tell you who we've got.
Yeah.
We've got a wonderful lineup. Dr. Jack Feehan, AI in Aged Care Research Fellow from RMIT.
Look out.
Alicia Clark, MD.
You're going to have to nail those name pronunciations. So
Benetas. I'm practicing getting all of your names correct.
Yeah.
Dr. Tom Kelly. Does anyone know where Dr. Tom Kelly works?
No, but I do believe his name is Thomas Kelly.
Well, I've got Tom in front of me. CEO Heidi Health. How cool is that?
Heidi Health.
Heidi, the AI scribe.
It's very exciting.
Okay, yeah, I'm really excited. And David Davini, Chief Data and Analytics Officer and Head of AI at Nous Consulting. Shout out Hilary Bush. Thanks for the intro there.
Nous Consulting.
One of our Ausmed ambassadors, my previous colleague, Naz Planner.
But
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Looking forward to it. It should be great. It should be really good.
It'll be amazing. And I do apologise for throwing you then unknowingly into the fire, Zoe. I will have been in Queensland the day before.
You will.
With my capability workforce group up there, and we're doing special little, and I don't want to say exclusive, but I'm going to say exclusive.
Go on.
Advanced AI training with our capability group. Yeah. It's
AI
super exciting.
Everywhere.
Yeah, got a little specialist guy coming in, and we're all bringing our computers, and we're actually like building as we learn. So look out. Yeah.
All right. Well, episode.
Well, don't look out. You're not invited, so you can't look out at all.
Next year. Tell us how that goes. Other news insights, I think we were all so excited yesterday to see the release of our new customer stories page. Did everyone see the Bapt Care?
So gorgeous.
Did everyone
Loved
see
it.
the Baptist Care case study getting released
Nathan did an amazing job with that.
Amazing. Shout out, Nate.
Yeah, shout out,
Nathan, honestly. to Nathan, to Leonie and the team at Baptist Care.
Love Bapt Care.
We absolutely loved
Lovely
coming
Leonie.
over.
She was off Wednesday, Thursday this week, but she'll be back on Friday.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I thought we weren't allowed to name orgs, actually. Oh, we are, because they're on the case study.
They are.
All right, we're breaking the rules or reinstating the rules. We need a risk profile on this. I'm confused. I'm not good with moving rules.
I think if you make it to a case study on our customer stories page, we can
name them. Okay.
We
all right,
can
fair
say
enough.
the name.
Because we've already named them.
It's too much hard work for Nick to try and beep out the name of him as we talk about beep.
But no, that was very exciting. It's just it's seeing things come to life, and we're all creative people, and seeing the story and being able to share what that partnership has enabled Bapt Care, who Baptist Care to do down in Victoria. It's just been really fantastic. I was there filming, so I just...
Oh, you're all over it. I don't want to push your hand on wrapping up, but I just feel like the moment has come to just say what a big year it's been.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we've come full circle. It's been a massive year. We kind of got to the starting line for the act and then we fell back and it was a false start and then we all had to, settle the lactic acid in our legs and go at it again in November. And God, that's exhausting. Do you remember those times when you used to run really fast at the athletics carnival and you did feel that lactic acid at the end of the race? I was a good little runner. Anyway, everything about that. Big year. I think people are excited to take a little break. I think they're hoping that the next 6 weeks, next 5 weeks just is a bit of a slide down the hill. I know there are some businesses, won't name any names, that really like to push at the last 4 to 5 weeks, and I think that's important for some. I don't want to dismiss that, but I also want to say for those people that are actually having a bit of a quieter time as we wait to see how things happen at the end of the year, it's nice for them to slide into the holidays as well.
And remember that line that comes out every November? I just said that for the first time this year. Can we circle back to this next year? I just use that in an email. I won't name names. It's that time of year.
You come back to me in the new year about that.
I'm just trying to close out things. I'm not trying to start new things.
Yeah.
Don't come to me with something new. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm just prioritising getting my current list ticked off, and I will circle back to this. And if we don't circle back, then maybe it wasn't meant
that
to be.
important. Yeah, that's true. So lowlights and highlights.
Yeah,
the lowlights is just, I think the false start with the act was probably a low light for me, and I think the highlight. Look, I think, at a professional, personal level, we have such an amazing team that work in industry because they've been there and have really tried to work really hard to be, on point with our advice and our expertise, on point with our support and making sure training plans and content, not building content, but, referring and recommending content and reporting is, all being done well. And I think that for us, it's really come through with our recent scores. We had our NPS out and got some, amazing numbers. I won't name numbers right now, but let's say they're very, very, if really, 1 plus is good, numbers. Then 65 plus is brilliant.
Michelle. And well done to your team.
Yeah, look, the team is incredible. My biggest complaints about the team is that they are unrelenting in putting the customer first, even at the face of no profit.
How do you get fired for that though, can you?
Oh, it's a risk. It's a risk to the business profitability when we just go, no, the customer can have whatever they want, as much support as they want.
High frequency, low impact.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's high. I'm high impact for these people. But anyway, so look, that's been the highlight for us. I think a brilliant team, low light, having a bit of a false start with the Aged Care Act. And otherwise, I think we're happy to just slide into Christmas and come back refreshed in January.
Back to anything in January.
If you're talking to the boss, tell him that we're pushing hard and we're starting new projects right now. So that's it for us.
If he's listening right now.
Yeah. Thanks, Michelle. CX, or year in CX all wrapped up.
Yeah.
What about Dr. Karen Patterson? Your inaugural year.
So it's been a completely different year.
Yeah.
So 100% improvement, hasn't it?
100% improvement.
Metrics are good.
Yes. No, it's been a whirlwind of on so many levels. And I honestly, I was thinking I should say a low light, but I really can't find one.
Oh.
I know you would not like me.
Actually,
you want me to have one.
I'll give you your low light. That the only other Sydney sider is the highest risk, highest likelihood, highest impact person to work with at the business. There you go.
No, it's been great to meet and have a cup of tea and have a chat. And, I just think, from my perspective, the highlights have been about immersing in a whole different world of health and being able to, see how all the bits of the machine work. Interestingly, when we're up in Darwin, I met a colleague who's the aged care advisor for ANMF and invited him here to come and meet us for a cup of tea. And he came in and he went, wow, look at all the he said, I never knew Ausmed was, such an active place, having so many people And I said, well, they're not all here. And and I just thought, the same thing from there is that, Ausmed to me was an app, prior to coming, and understanding what sits behind all of that content and all the improvements that come with it. Like, it's still from working in public health and the generosity in regard to, the work that's gone into generative AI and looking at the particular questions and the reflection. And then for, to understand that it's actually just, not just, the product's being improved, but there's no, there's no cost changes or anything like that. It's actually just saying, well, this means our users will have an improved learning experience, and that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. And, it's a whole different, you would think from a public-private perspective that we're actually, so much tighter in the public space from there and hold everything so tight. The generosity that being experienced from a small organisation with a, statewide reach is just fascinating.
Honestly, I feel like, and in all seriousness, I feel like you've been here so much longer, and I think it's just testament to
TBH
what you bring. Just, I remember meeting you at our leadership retreat down on the Mornington Peninsula in January, and you were just we'd all heard that we've got Dr. Karen Patterson. We all Googled you, thinking, oh my God, we didn't even get your title right, but that you were running, workforce capability at New South Wales Health.
Tell them, Michelle, what you thought when Will said, I think this person's going to come and work with us.
Don't email me for this on recording, Karen. I shared that in confidence. I disclosed to Karen the other day that when Will told me that, I said I thought he should. Maybe we just needed to think about that a little bit and whether she'd fit the culture of Ausmed and whether she'd be able to adjust to the lack of bureaucracy in politics that she'll experience in Ausmed.
That's where I was going, that it feels like you've been here for so long because you're such, the cultural fit is amazing, but it sounds like it's such a totally different world from where you've been, but
maybe I didn't fit in the other.
Oh, mic drop.
You just instant connection. Thank you both for everything that you've brought this year to our team. I mean, obviously no one's mentioned the podcast.
Oh, highlight podcast.
I think I've touched on mine earlier, but new role for me. I was very happy.
Yeah. Is that the low light?
Yeah, no, that was a highlight. Sorry. I was very happy in my head of community role in our marketing team. Absolutely loved it. Petrified at starting a new role in the middle of moving house, navigating moving schools, young kids. Low light was trying to juggle it all in a very big year for me personally, because anyone that's ever tried to sell and move a house will tell you it's ginormous.
No.
But what are we excited for next year? I'm just going to list them off. I am really excited about what we're doing in the generative learning space. Yep. I see so much potential for all things Gen AI to continue to push the learner experience and our learning experience into an outcome-based world. I love what we're thinking around knowledge verification and how that might link into mandatory training. I'm excited to build out new libraries and continue to see us support more sectors, more people. I'm learning a lot about disability care. I'm excited to keep learning there. So yeah, I'm just positive about next year and continuing to build on what we've got, but then, the learning, especially around generative AI, never stops. What are you excited for next year?
Look, at the risk of sounding like we're not, I don't want to be strategic or big picture. I actually think the best strategy for me and my team next year is to stay at the forefront of what's happening in aged care and be responsive to all the new information that'll come in.
Absolutely.
And I think that anything that's too big and too different will distract from that. So, and I don't mean Gen AI as that, because that is part and parcel with how we deliver and build capability. I guess I just mean we need to have a lot of capacity to grow and learn as the industry is about to grow and learn in this space. So that's really what I'm excited about, is making sure that our team is the best it can be to support all the learnings that are about to come out. And that is the strategy, to be responsive to all that stuff, to be on point and responsive. I don't think we can investigate or research anymore. I think we have to wait for lived experience and then respond and support to that. So that is my strategy, not having a strategy beyond that strategy.
No, it is. It's just an emergent strategy.
Oh, okay.
So when you're asked what's your strategy, you can just say it's an emergent strategy.
Okay, thanks. That's it.
Hot tip. Karen, what's ahead?
What's ahead? Well, recently reconnected, which is fantastic, with the Victorian Education Network in regard to their capability. So to get that up and going and digitalised and available to everyone, so having a capability framework for nurse educators, that's fantastic. And that's been sort of just going along, and now we're back on track again, that'll be one of the big outcomes for next year. We're also with the Australian College of Nursing sponsoring a PhD candidate as well.
My job.
So getting into education from there. So and what we're looking for around that is around the use of technology and capability and healthcare. So that's exciting. That will really make it more robust in regard to the things that we can talk about and be part of and learn from. And my other personal part is about working around the governance, so the trusted framework that we've built throughout the year, and now having tested its application in the content department, thinking about it as an enterprise-wide framework, and also within generative AI. So we're really leading the way in the application of governance and generative AI in the use for education. So I think getting that up and out there will give people the confidence to also engage with all of the initiatives that Ausmed is leading forward with.
Absolutely. All of the questions that anyone might have around governance, risk, quality and safety in learning and generative learning, Dr. Karen Patterson is 4 steps ahead and supporting us with really building that knowledge, preempting what people might need to know to feel safe, to feel that this is something that they can embrace. And I love that we are taking a customer-based approach to governance and working back from there. What is it that someone might need to know to use this and feel safe about it? And let's make sure that we've got that covered. And I think that's really, really exciting. And on that note, I think
this big wrap up. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, cool.
Do we have to stretch our arms out?
Kind of where I was going.
Yeah, very encompassing.
My Lord. All right. Well, we know that you're reaching for the tissue boxes. We know there's lots of
I'm reaching for the
right
wine.
now
Let's
about
be honest.
this episode ending, but you can re-listen to all of our other episodes for the year while we wait for 2026.
Over and over again.
But a big thank you. Thank you to all our listeners. In all seriousness, we probably wouldn't be allowed to do this podcast. No one would give us any resources to do it if it wasn't for you, our listeners, to enjoy. So thank you for sticking with us. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to connect each fortnight, to have a chat. We've loved it. I've loved being a part of, a meeting with Karen and Michelle in my calendar. It's just like, oh, how nice is that?
It's the only way you can get the two of us available at the same time.
I tell you, managing your calendars, I'm going to put all of the invites for next year in this year, and they're going to be done.
Still not going to work.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you to our fabulous producer, Nick. You do an amazing job. It's like, herding cats, getting us all together, fixing all of our mic issues, working out what we need to do, say, and be when, and pulling together a fabulous show. So thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the year. Yeah. Enjoy a fabulous break. Happy Christmas, New Year. Happy New Year, happy holidays, and we'll see you next year.
Keep that in.